Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in today. We'll continue from the chapters where we left yesterday. Um, I suppose we completed till page 30 of the highlights of a book called Karma by Sadhguru, and then let's see what we can learn and then how we can put that in place and practice for us to do better in what we do. Thank you once again for tuning in. Okay, let's start with this page of 30. It's not simply doing a deed that accumulates karma, it is how you do it and with what motive it is performed that makes all the difference. Um, at some point of time, he mentions that, killing someone or thinking of someone how to kill is more impact than straight away kill someone and then you just finish it off because you're killing that person a million times in your head, how to do it, what to do it, uh, how to protect yourself instead of doing that kind of things, etc., etc. State of inner fulfillment rather than inner hankering. Your life becomes an expression of bliss, not a pursuit of it. You will now desire the well being of the entire planet. Okay. Act without personal agenda. Act without personal agenda in every action you take. I think that becomes more clear and clear as you move ahead. If you don't have any personal agendas, the personal agendas of how to pretty much, if you're selfish in your motives, what do you normally do? Basically, you want to step on somebody else's fortune, you want to step on somebody else's head for you to get promotions, or you want to prove yourself that someone is wrong, you're the only one who is right. So everything comes down to personal agendas, which is something that we really need to look at it. I mean, I'm sure that you have your own ways. You don't need to put someone down for you to feel better or feel better in front of somebody else, because it's who you are. You don't have to reflect or show someone that you can show what you can become with your own efforts. But with these personal agendas, from the day you wake up, from the morning you wake up till end of the evening, you see how many times that we have a different thinking. I mean, it's not only about the action; it's not about what kind of thoughts goes in us, and to not to harm others, but then everything related um, to basically, if you don't get something, and what are the other ways that you're trying to get it? Easy way is to put somebody else down. Yeah, at your workplace, most of the time it happens. In a business, you're always trying to. That's competition is something different because you want to try to do best by using your creativity. But personal agendas are something that we really need to look into it and ask ourselves: Are we doing it because you want to do better, or you want to do some personal agendas which is harming others? It's something that you really need to look at. A reaction based on a self-preservation and a response based on intrinsic needs of situation. When your actions are no longer about you, when they are simply based on the demands of the situation, narrow self-interest no longer fuels your violation. Something that we discussed early on. You have reached the end of a karmic production, your liberation is assured. Let me repeat this again. When your actions are no longer about you, when they are simply based on the demands of the situation, a narrow self interest no longer fuels your violation. You have reached the end of a karmic production, then your liberation is assured. Ultimately, life is neither suffering nor a bliss, it is what you want to be. Life has no inherent quality whatsoever. The choice is always yours, the violation is always yours. To live fully is to allow yourself to experience something totally. To live fully is to allow yourself to experience something totally, whatever you're doing. But if you go through the experience without resisting it, the karma dissolves. In Indian epic Mahabharata says that hesitation is the worst of all crimes. Hesitation is the worst of all crimes. Living totally does not mean just having a good time. It means experiencing anything that comes your way fully and intensely. The very process of life is the dissolution of karma. If you live every moment of your life totally, you dissolve any enormous volume of karma. What does it mean if you live every moment of your life totally? Now let's take a few couple of examples maybe that can relate in case if you're wondering. Paying attention to the present moment is very very important, and then mostly any number of sages, you know, personality development gurus or whoever um, recommends that being in present, because end of the day this is all what you have, this is all what we have at this point of time, in case you're watching or if you happen to see this when I'm out of line. Present moment, what you hear, what you see, what you sense. Simple examples like you go to a, say for example, bathroom, and then you're, washing your face. Now there are two three things that you can observe being in present moment, because we are somewhere else, we're washing our face, then you know open the tap, pay attention, and then the first time the hot water or cold water touches your skin, see the sensation. When it touches your face, see the sensation, feel the sensation, be focused, be where you are. Same thing, sometimes in a rush we eat like maybe 5-10 minutes, tuck tuck tuck, everything is done and then we go away. But then what kind of sensations, what kind of a taste you felt, giving the moment little bit far away, little bit to see what is it that you're doing, what is that you're focusing, what is that you're thinking. And thinking has a different dimensions anyways, but then living in a present moment is that moment to moment observation of what you're doing. For example, when you're walking, like something very interesting that I come to know also, somewhere I read, if I'm not mistaken, that being in a beach, listening to the music, I mean, you're basically uh, not living the moment actually. Basically, if you're going to the beach, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the beach, enjoy the waves, enjoy the life over there in that being in the present. But then if you're putting different music, you're somewhere else and you're there but you're not there. So there are many aspects that you can look at it in terms of being in present moment. And then I'm sure there are two books which I read is by Eckhart Tolle's, Power of Now, and then The New Earth, which he purely talks about how ego works and how being in presence make all the difference. And then it can be the simple things as it, like I'm looking and talking to you. And then same thing, something Sadhguru mentions also, that you look just because you're looking, not because you're looking for something else to find. There is quite difference over there. Look and observe. Watching the cloud, just observe and see how it passes. Looking at the sky, blue skies. Looking at the birds, perhaps. You're using, like, say, for example, 10, 12 birds are flying on a sky. Just watch one bird and see how it reflects, how it just flaps the wings. These are the present moments. Meditation is not where, I mean, every day if you practice being in a present, is nothing but you're doing a good, long, deep meditation. We have enormous opportunities around us to walk, to look into somebody's eyes, to speak. There are many times it goes different ways because we have thinking, uh, too many things goes in our head while you're walking, while eating, while sleeping, even sleeping. I'm sure that's why I think a lot of crazy dreams comes to you too. But I think being in present moment makes all the difference. And then try practicing the simple things and individual activities, even step to step, moment to moment, be it sending the wife, kids, parents, just being in the present moment, and then gives that a lot of attention to your live, to your life, and bring that to a most of this awareness. So I hope that pretty much cleared it up. Maybe I hope I didn't make it long. The cause of human suffering is oneself. Your karma is not in what is happening to you. Your karma is the way you respond to what is happening to you. Karma is not what is happening to you. Your karma is the way you respond to what is happening to you, the way you respond to what's happening to you, the way you respond to what's happening to you. Now, why I repeated this couple of times is that we think that someone else is responsible for our life. No, no, it's all your actions. You're paying attention. Again, going back to the being in a present moment. How you respond in every given situation makes all the difference. If you have a mastery over your physical body, 15 or 20% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. If you have a mastery over your psychological process, 50 or 60% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. If you have a mastery over your very life energy, 100% of your life and destiny could be at your hands. You can expect only mangoes, that much it is designed by the seed. How many mangoes will the tree yield? What will be the quality of the mangoes? How long will it yield them? Or these are the factors you certainly do have control. But the planting a mango, expecting the mangoes is the right thing, the first thing to do. Pretty much he mentions that you can't plant a mango seed and expect the coconuts out of it. What most people call luck is just your ability to be at the right place at the right time. Many of our capabilities are still unconscious. There's one classical example um, he gives. I think I heard that in one of his Sadhguru's conversation, that we tend to look certain things in a wrong place. Your awareness is, suppose you're a farmer, potato farmer, and then you only know how to look for the yields, which is potatoes, by digging the soil, and that's where you find potato and so on and so forth. And other than that, imagine that you have no knowledge, and then you go to a mango tree, and then looking for a mango trees at the roots. It's That's what awareness is all about. Mango trees. I mean, obviously by nature we know that, but then imagine that someone who has only knowledge of that all the fruits comes only by the roots, and then potato farmers knows that he needs to go and find every 6 months, every 1 month to go and see the mangoes at the root. He's not going to find it because that's not how the nature is created by itself, design itself for the mango seed. Mango seeds, you need to look up and look for the mangoes given certain time. But whereas potatoes has certain time, and then you just remove it and then you're going to find it. So awareness is very important. And then it's a classical example on how something we don't know, we assume that we know, and then we look in the wrong places. You do have a control, you have to react. You do have control how you react to what happens to you. No need to take something that belongs to another or to convert another possessions. Very important. Karma means that you can change your destiny not simply by ruled by it. You can change your destiny, but not simply by ruled by it. Suffering is only in the mind. If you are suffering mentally, it means that you are the source of your own suffering. You are the manufacturer of your own anguish. The source of your misery is how you are processing the imprint of your past now. It's very important. The source of your misery is how you're processing the imprint of the past which has happened now. Thinking about something which happened 10 years ago. It happened, it's gone, it's not here, but if you're processing, if you're just by thinking about what happened, that you're just reliving the thing what's not happening right now, but what happened in the past. So it's very important for us to live in a present moment so that you don't focus on what happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Matter of the fact, 1 month ago. Can you change something? Like, say for example, yesterday the breakfast you were there, can you change what breakfast you have today? Can you change what breakfast you had yesterday morning today by thinking of it? No, there's no way that you're going to do it. Obviously it came out of the shit in the morning, that's a different story. But however, can you change each and every aspect? This is how we really need to think. Can you change something happened 2 days ago? Can you change something how your boss reacted 1 week ago? Can you change something that makes no sense, and then you keep thinking about it, be it in your relationships, be it in friendships, be it in your, the losses of your financial gains, or whatsoever. The moment is right now. That's present is what you have, and what you can do determine what's going to happen tomorrow or day after. But even that's a little further to think. But then you can plan it, you can execute well at this present moment, and then leave the results. Result is going to show up. But even if it don't go the way it goes, but then as long as you practice being in present moment, and then many things can change in your life for good. But ask yourself in a daily, how many times you think of things which happened past. Can you think about what is going to happen 10 years from now? Because you haven't seen the future. And your thoughts only go back to what happened, not what's going to happen. Because if you relive in that, at least in the future, because at least you need to have good focus, good goals, good dreams of where you want to be. At least that will drive you to be there, instead of easy way of looking what didn't go well, rather than looking at what can you do better, what can you do better, what can you do better, instead of thinking about bitter times or whatever situations we had in the past. Yeah, there's one more interesting thing is, again, I'm repeating that one. Suffering is only of the mind. If you are still suffering mentally, it means that you are the source of your own suffering. You are manufacturer of your own anguish. The source of your misery is how you're processing the imprint of the past right now at this point of time. Large part of agriculture is very important. It's so simple it looks like, but the large part of agriculture is all about weeding. If you don't weed, what happens? The crop's not going to give you the better results. Yes, maybe it will, but then weeding automatically happens. You don't have to have any effort. So does our negative thoughts. So does our positive thoughts. Positive thoughts, you need to cultivate it. You need to water it. You need to pour it by staying disciplined. Negative thoughts will automatically come. Who said what? I did not do these, all the blame games, so on and so forth. 100 things negative just pops up. And then, of course, we have 100 sources that we have the information comes right in our hands from the moment you woke up. So staying positive, it's a little bit difficult. No, it's not a little bit difficult. It's most difficult part is staying positive in negative circumstances. So negative circumstances, you just don't think anything negative automatically happens. So that's what he's talking about. Most of the agriculture is part of weeding, weeding, weeding. What farmer focuses is all about weeding so that he can get a good crops, great crops, and whatever the crop of seeds which he planted. Other people intentions and actions affect us. This becomes our collective karma. So it goes a little bit deep into how, say for example, how pandemic like such as COVID affected entire humanity. I would say, as long as it doesn't matter where you live, but then these things are collective karma based on what we do for the entire planet around Earth. And obviously, if you look in a little bit deep, so we are, instead of protecting Mother Planet, we're doing a lot of things that which we could avoid. But again, change comes from within, so you don't need to worry about how many people are using plastic. You stop using plastic. Maybe that can help others. You don't think that, oh, when you go to the shop, this is what they're gonna give me. It's a different story, but be the change you want to see in others. It means you're creating the kind of karma that will definitely have a negative impact on future generations. The kind of grace you are fortunate enough to receive in your lifetime can also affect the lives of those before you and after you. This is wonderful to remember and recollect it. I said, yes, if somebody else is starving to death, of course it must be divine will, right? So apparently this one was discussed in one of the meetings they had. So if someone else is starving to death, of course it must be divine will. If someone else's children are dying in malnutrition, it must be divine plan. But if you are starving, you will definitely have your own plan, won't you? So that's a question we should ask. Of course, you don't have to get disturbed what's happening uh, far away from you. Yeah, I mean, you can have a little bit of compassion to it, but can you do anything to do change that uh, by being here or being in present? Definitely not. But what can one action that you can do, which is which you can take during that moment, or which can, like for example, you go out and then see someone who's hungry, and if you really can support, just give one meal. You don't have to give thousand meals to somewhere you never even know, the feeling of what you give that one meal to the person can definitely give you a lot of sense of joy and sense of that you are taking care of someone with your own hands. Then someone far away will tell you that, oh, that you know just give us the money, and then we want to send someone there to feed them. You never know, maybe even though there are some good intentions to a lot of people, maybe it might not reach the person. So whereas you see something, you act. That's what being changed. See that what you can do with your own hands, say for say. In the name of divine, we have taken away even humanity from human beings. If you allow your humanity to overflow, the divine will happen. If you allow your humanity to overflow, the divine will happen. Your destiny is what you have crafted in awareness. Your destiny is what you had crafted in unawareness. For every action that we perform, there is a consequence. For every action we perform, there is a consequence. Bear Whether the consequence bears fruit today or tomorrow or 10 years later, it's irrelevant. The point is that it always bears a fruit one way or the other. Well, you can say it's when many people say karma, karma, but karma has different meanings. If you look a little bit deep into this kind of books which was written by Sadhguru. Similarly, with the life process, if you are self-propelled, we say you are on a spiritual path. If you are being pushed around by your accumulated tendencies, your habits, and your prejudices, then you are at the mercy of your own horoscope. He don't say horoscope. He says you are in your own mercy of a horoscope. The spiritual practice is by defining always about taking your destiny in your own hands instead of looking at the sky for someone else to come and help you or drive you or give guidance from you. Last time we know is only through two masters who received the divine voice. And I'm sure if you're in a religious path, you definitely will know who are those. But beyond that, we're just only living in hallucinations, thinking that someone is coming from the sky to save you. It doesn't matter who my forefathers were, what my karmic substance is, it doesn't matter what my past has been. I have decided the way I am going, I have determined that I'm moving toward my liberation. Again, acting upon what is right in front of you and with a moderate intensity. You need to have intensity in your life in order for you to do something, achieve something, and be a better person, be a better human being. If you are on a spiritual path, authentic astrologers will never make prediction for you. Like you can just go and ask them. There's some movies you can also see. Sadhana. If you want to be self-propelled, it is important to start by fixing your intention. Make your intention as all encompassing as you can. Start with simple resolve. Start with simple resolve. Decide to be a mother to the world. That means seeing everyone as your own. There is no one who is not part of your clan. When you walk down the street, are you capable of looking upon everyone with the same sweetness of emotion that arises within you when you see your own child coming or your child coming from the school? This intention alone could liberate you from much agitation and negativity and could have a tremendous impact on how you craft your destiny. If you are conscious every moment that everything and everyone on this planet is yours, you don't need any laws to tell you what you shall and what you shall not do. You have changed your fundamental identity, your karmic boundaries now fall away, and you experience a sense of boundlessness. A new identity of inclusiveness and involvement is born. This is very important. Respecting everyone whom you come across, just because they're exactly a same human being like you. Not only your families, not only your friends, not only someone. There are some things, some places when you go. Like for example, it's very very good in hospitality industry. And then because since I spent like almost 23 years in hospitality industry working in hotels, this became part of my identity. Greeting, wishing, it doesn't matter. I mean, because obviously we respect the guest pays for us. By the way, but I think that something got built up in my system. So I try to say even hello, even some places if you say hello to a stranger, they probably slap you. That's a different story. But you still can look in the eyes and say hello. Probably not to the woman, I guess. At least men you see. And some people, if you're, if you know that where the culture, the like for example, whenever I travel to Croatia to visit or to visit my family, I see my kids. They're like what now, 7, 8, and they just say hello to a stranger, and then that actually also opened up many ways that I could think. I said, man, this is possible. You don't need to. We are unconsciously thinking that what are the things. It's okay. He's not going to kill you just because you're saying hello. Probably he thinks that you're a crazy person. It's okay, but at least you look in the eyes or say hello, good morning, or whatever it is. The hospitality, it is part of everybody's life basically. But if you practice that around the corner, wherever you go, wherever your interactions, wherever however you do it, and I think that really opens up a lot of beginnings for your life. That ends well. We just managed to reach to page 50, and I hope that helps for you to do better in what you do. And then, if you have a long time to pretty. I think it just took like 20 plus minutes. I hope that helps you. And once again, I tell you, it's about the intentions. It's about the intentions and being in present moment and what you can do in a given moment to moment, eye to eye, step to step. Every action you do, just pay attention and being a little bit there definitely can enhance your uh, way you live. Thanks for watching, and see you for the remaining of the book. Thank you.